So welcome back here to day 4 at Rapid. I'm joined by Dr. Dennis Butcher, our program manager at American Makes. So thanks for taking a couple minutes to
thanks
to
for
talk
having
with
me.
Yeah, for sure. So how many times have you come to Rapid?
This is my third Rapid show. I was here for the show in Pittsburgh and Fort Worth last year.
Any kind of major trends that you've seen or anything that you notice that's different between maybe this Rapid and when you got started?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of maturation going on in the industry. We're seeing a lot of the traditional machine vendors that have been around for a little while, especially in the laser powder bed space, continuing to develop, and then also a lot of companies, I think, coming on their heels with new offerings and capabilities that are really interesting for us in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're really interested in some of the development in the binder jetting space, where we see some great opportunities to have advances in the scale that you can produce, and as well as the affordability of the products.
No, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's one thing that I'll say I've always felt it was a technology that wasn't that. It's not that it's not well represented, but we don't have it that well documented. We've actually recently been talking about trying to figure out how we get more engaged with that community and bring some of those folks to the table, such that we can kind of better capture it on a roadmap, so that we can better understand their problems.
I think it's definitely a space that we need to explore, and like you said, get some definition on the roadmap and really start to identify where the community needs are for that technology, because ultimately, if we're putting products in the field, and for us in the Air Force on aircraft, we're going to need to understand the material quality, and as well as how we can afford these parts.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking, maybe kind of taking a journey down that path around. One thing we always hear, one of the probably most used catchphrases in our world right now, specifically in aerospace and defense, is around qualification certification. Can you talk just a little bit about, and not necessarily Air Force's perspective, but just considerations in that space?
Definitely. I mean, like I was just mentioning, it's all about the material and the part quality. And there's other factors that go into it as well, but this is new technology for a lot of the folks that have to make those certification decisions and ultimately approve parts going on aircraft. So while I think the technology is getting very close, and in some cases is ready to be adopted, we still got a lot of cultural barriers and a lot of proving it out that we have to do for some of these folks. And so seeing the technology and the capabilities that are present at the show is one great way to do that, and then through what we're doing at American Makes to kind of raise the level of knowledge and capability within the industry. We're really trying to energize a lot of these companies beyond just large OEMs that do have the knowledge for how to go through qual and cert.
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually
spread it across the base.
Sorry there. We've recently awarded a series of projects in a program that we've captured called ATRQ, which stands for Advanced Tools for Rapid Qualification. So we're really trying to advance kind of reduce the amount of time it takes to get parts qualified and understand the considerations around qualification. We actually have an event coming up here in about 2 months, actually.
Yep.
That's going to be hosted at NIAR, which we call a TRX event, or TRX and Technical Review and Exchange event.
Yep.
Focused specifically on qualification and certification. Anything you're looking to see from that? I think it ends up being a 2-day event we're going to have specifically focused on qual cert.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see there is a lot of great projects that are going to try and deliver some knowledge and tools that help us reduce some of that qualification burden. So we have to do less testing and ultimately have that testing cost less to get parts fielded. Mm-hmm. And I think the link to a show like this is getting that knowledge out to the base, where they can then, all these companies and vendors can start applying it to their own internal processes and in their businesses, so that they can reach these markets and really start implementing additive in a much more robust way for high value applications.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we all understand the importance of qualification and certification. Now, I think we're collectively coming together between, Air Force has been a major player in this space, has helped us shape content but ultimately it's something that I think is going to be a very impactful meeting over the course of a couple of days. It's going to be hosted at NIAR in mid-July. So we encourage anyone that's interested in this topic to come out. And I'd like to thank you for your time. I appreciate you taking the time to
great to be here.
talk. Thanks.
Thanks, John.